Silver Crown, Part 2 of the Silver Chains. The price of freedom, the night I broke the silver chains. I thought I had saved him. I thought freeing the Alpha King meant the end of suffering. Not the beginning of a storm, but freedom, I've learned, always has a price. It's been 2 weeks since the forest. Since the night Dominic rose from silver dust and called me his mate. 2 weeks since I left behind my grandmother's cottage and stepped into a world where wolves walk as man in the moon, listens like a goddess with secrets of her own. Thought I was leaving grief behind. Instead, I found something older, deeper, and much more dangerous. Because the chains that bound Dominic weren't just meant to hold him. They were meant to protect the world from what hunted him. And now that he's free, it knows he's alive, it knows I am too. Chapter 1. The Moonlit Fortress. The castle sat upon the northern cliffs like a sentinel carved from the bones of the earth. Towers of black stone crowned with silver banners that fluttered in the icy wind. Dominic called it Dravencourt, his ancestral home, but it felt more like a legend I'd stepped into by accident. As our horses climbed the final hill, I caught my first glimpse of the great gates, carved with runes that shimmered faintly under the moonlight. "This is home?" I asked quietly, my breath fogging in the cold air. Dominic turned his head slightly, a faint smile curving his lips. "If you'll make it one," he said. Even in human form there was something untamed about him. The way his dark hair caught the wind, the way his eyes glowed faintly when the moonlight touched them. The Alpha King of the Northern Packs, my mate, my curse, my miracle. Inside, the great hall smelled of cedar and smoke. 1,000 candles burned in iron sconces, their light flickering across stone walls and furs draped like trophies. "Your people," I began, hesitant. "They'll come when they're ready," he said. "Some will kneel, some will question, many will fear you." "Fear me?" I turned to him, startled. He touched my chin gently. "You broke the chains forged by blood magic, Elara. No one has done such a thing in centuries. They will call you a blessing or a curse. Either way, they will know your power." Before I could answer, a deep sound echoed through the hall, a wolf's howl, long and mournful, rolling through the cold night. Dominic stiffened. "They've sensed me," he murmured, "and not all who serve the Northern Crown are loyal." Chapter 2. The Council of Shadows. They came before dawn, 6 figures cloaked in gray fur, eyes sharp and wary. The High Council of the North. The eldest, a woman with hair like spun steel, stepped forward. "Our king returns," she said, voice cool, freed from the silver spell. By her. Every gaze shifted to me. I fought the urge to step back. Dominic's voice was steady, commanding. "Elara is under my protection. Her touch broke what none of you could even weaken. You will treat her with the respect due to your queen." The woman's lips curved slightly. "We honor your word, my king, yet the spell that bound you was old blood magic, ancient. It was not meant to be broken. If it was undone, something else may have been awakened." Dominic's jaw tightened. "Speak plainly." "The Silver Crown," she said. "The artifact that bound the chain's power. When the curse broke, the crown's seal shattered with it. And the creature it held will come." My stomach turned cold. "What creature?" The councilwoman's gaze met mine. "The Shadow Alpha, the first wolf born of moonlight and death. It cannot be killed, only contained, until you freed him." The hall fell silent. Dominic's expression hardened, the warmth in his eyes vanishing into steel. "Then we hunted," he said. But I could feel something in the air. A hum of power, faint and familiar. And in the corners of the hall where the candlelight faltered, shadows seemed to move on their own. Chapter 3. The Shadows Whisper. That night, I woke to the sound of wind, or what I thought was wind. It was a whisper, soft and cold, threading through the darkness of the room. "Elara." I sat up, my heart pounding. The fire had burned low, casting long fingers of shadow across the walls. "Who's there?" Silence. Then a flicker of movement near the window. I rose, crossing the room, the air growing colder with each step. When I touched the glass, frost bloomed beneath my fingertips. And reflected there behind me stood a shape, tall, dark, and wrong. "Who are you?" I breathed. The shadow's voice was like 1,000 whispers layered together. "The chains you broke did not belong to him alone. You freed me too." Before I could scream, Dominic burst through the door, bare-chested, eyes blazing gold. The shadow recoiled, vanishing into smoke. He reached me in 2 strides. "What happened?" I heard it, I said, trembling. A voice. It said I freed it too. He cursed softly, wrapping his arm around me. It's found you already. What is it? The thing the council warned of, he said grimly. The Shadow Alpha, bound to the same silver that held me. And now, because of us, it walks free. Chapter 4. Blood and moonlighty morning. The fortress was alive with movement. Guards shifting between forms. Wolves pacing the perimeter, the air thick with tension. Dominic refused to leave my side. It won't stop until it gets what it wants, he said. And I think that's you. Me, he nodded. You're the key that broke the curse. It needs your power to finish what it began, to reclaim the full strength of the Silver Crown. I stared at him. Then we destroy it. He gave a humorless laugh. If only it were that simple. That night we rode into the forest following the trail of dead silence where birds no longer sang, and frost covered the ground in black veins. The moon hung low, pale and watchful. At the clearing's edge, the shadow waited, a wolf twice the size of any I'd ever seen, its form shifting like smoke and flame, eyes red as dying embers. Dominic stepped forward, his body already beginning to shift, bones cracking, fur bursting through skin. His wolf form was magnificent, dark as night, massive, his eyes burning gold. Elara, run if I fall, he growled. But I couldn't. The air around the Shadow Alpha shimmered, and the same warmth I'd felt the night I freed Dominic began to burn in my chest again. The magic that lived in my blood, my grandmother's legacy, answered. Not this time, I whispered, raising my hands. Silver light erupted from my palms, slamming into the shadow's chest. It howled, the sound like tearing metal, and lunged. Dominic met it midair, claws flashing, teeth sinking deep. The forest exploded in chaos. Light and shadow clashing, moonlight bleeding across the ground. Then the shadow struck Dominic, sending him sprawling. I screamed his name, running to his side, but before I reached him, the creature was on me. Its voice filled my mind. You belong to me now. No, I cried, memeing, and unleashed everything. Silver fire burst from my hands, brighter than the moon, burning through the shadow's form. It screamed, the forest shaking, the light consuming it from within, until all that was left was dust and silence. Chapter 5. The Silver Crown. I fell to my knees. Gasping, the night spinning around me, Dominic's wolf form staggered forward, collapsing into his human self, blood streaking his chest. Elara. His hand reached for mine. I'm here, I whispered. It's over. But when I looked down, something shimmered in the ashes. A circlet of silver, delicate and ancient, pulsing faintly with light. The Silver Crown. Dominic followed my gaze. Don't touch it, he warned. It's a vessel of power. The one that bound the curse, I could feel it calling to me, humming like a heartbeat. What if it can be sealed again? Elara, but I was already reaching. My fingers brushed the metal, and light erupted, not destructive this time, but soft and endless. Images filled my mind. My grandmother, her eyes filled with tears and pride. You have more strength than you know, child. When the light faded, I stood holding the crown, no longer pulsing but still warm. Dominic was on his feet, watching me carefully. It's bonded to you now, he said quietly. The power that once cursed me now belongs to you. I looked down at the crown, then up at him. Then I'll use it to protect what we've built. To protect you. He stepped closer, brushing his thumb across my cheek, eyes soft with both pride and fear. You've changed everything, Elara, for me. For our kind. The world will not take kindly to that. Then let them come, I said, lifting my chin. I broke chains once. I'll do it again. Dominic's smile was small, fierce, and full of love. My queen, he whispered before pulling me into a kiss that felt like a vow. Above us, the moon burned silver, watching, blessing, and waiting for whatever came next. The whisper of the crown later that night, when all was quiet and the fires burned low, I woke to a faint sound, not a whisper this time, but a heartbeat. The crown, resting on the table beside our bed, pulsed once, twice, and from somewhere deep in the north where the wind howled across frozen mountains, another voice answered. The chains were broken, the crown was reborn, but the war was only beginning.